An independent commission probing alleged foreign interference in Canada has asked the Trudeau government to share information about possible meddling in elections by India, a development that could aggravate the already tense Ottawa-New Delhi relationship. The commission was set up by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government in September to conduct a public inquiry into foreign meddling in Canadian affairs after reports of alleged Chinese attempts to influence elections and mounting pressure for an inquiry. Beijing has repeatedly denied any interference, and the Commission said in a statement on Wednesday that it had requested the Canadian government to provide documents, and I quote, relating to alleged interference by India related to the 2019 and 2021 elections. Tikam Sharma, my colleague, is joining us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Tikam, if you can hear me?
Yes, Vineet, I can.
Well, this in all probability is going to make matters go from bad to worse between India and Canada.
Yes, Vineet, an independent commission probing alleged foreign interference in Canada asked the Trudeau government on Wednesday to share the information about the possible meddling of election by India, a development that could aggravate already tension Ottawa-New Delhi relationship. The commission was set by the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau government in September to conduct a public inquiry into foreign meddling in Canadian affairs after a report of alleged Chinese attempt to influence the election and mounting pressure for an inquiry. Beijing has repeatedly denied the interference. The commission said in September that had requested the Canadian government to provide documents relating to the alleged interference by India related to the 2019 and 2021 election. The commission will also examine the following information within the federal government in relation to issue, evaluate and action in the response, access the federal government capacity to detect, deter and counter the foreign interference and make recommendation on these issues. Yes, Vineet.
All right, so Mr. Sanjeev Srivastav, international affairs expert, joins us on the show to talk more about this. Major General Sudhakar Ji, geopolitical expert, also with us on the program. General Sudhakar Ji, if I can come to you first, and I hope you can hear me, sir.
Yeah, Vinit.
Well, this is unnecessary, this is unwanted, and at the same time, Canada putting out the statement that India is perhaps involved in some sort of an election meddling is not only absurd but also offensive to the sensitivities that prevail between these two countries. If the Americans allege or make a similar allegation against Russia, it is perhaps formidable. But, a country saying that about India is complete nonsense. What do you say, sir?
Vinit, very good, I would say, highlight from your side. Must compliment you and the NewsX. All I have to say is that when you corner a cat in a room, the cat would be left with no option but to pounce back. Whether it harms or not, it's a different issue altogether. Trudeau today is isolated from all sides. He's been made indefensible by all kinds of support system which he was existing, the ecosystem which was supporting him. He's been cornered internally and externally. As a result, just for his survival, he's taking recourse to all kinds of measures. One of them is this. Well, if he has got some evidence, he's most welcome to share that with India. Historically speaking, independent India or before that, as a subcontinent, this subcontinent of the civilization has never interfered, ever, with the political dispensation or the administration of any country in the world. Arthashastra is a different kind of a document that we talk of. But we have never done it as a modern state of India post 1947, and there is no evidence. If this gentleman has got some evidence, he is most welcome to share that. I can say with a lot of pride and conviction and with a lot of authority, it is none of the handiwork of any of the agencies of India. It is just to divert the attention. Yes, I can throw some light. The light is that the United Front Works Department, or the magic weapon which was started way back in 1927 between the ROC, the Republic of China, and the People's Republic of China in inception stage at that point in time, that took birth sometime when Mao Zedong was in the leadership, just close to 1949. That magic weapon has started getting funding the budget allocation has been increased from 2019, ever since the Article 370 was abrogated by Indian Parliament. And since then, it has actually caught on to its old flame and the ambition and the objective. What are the objective? One of the objective is to penetrate into the administrative or the democratic means of elections of the democratic countries, no matter whether developed economy or underdeveloped or developing economy, manipulate, carry out manipulation in an effective manner, and also make sure that there is a change of the leadership in favor of China. One. Number two, the media has been penetrated effectively. Number three, the elite class population of these kind of developed economies or otherwise have also been subjugated to subversion. The mental thought process, the orientation, and the editorial team, whether it is digital platform or non-digital print media or electronic media, also have been penetrated very deeply. Canada is no exception. It has been going through the journey of past 10 to 15 years. I can say with a lot of conviction and pride, I have been there, my friends are there, they have been giving me regular inputs. Trudeau is just trying to divert the attention of China focus approach to subvert the system which is existing in Canada, and to achieve that, he is trying to pass on the buck to India. Back to you, Vinit.
Mr. Srivastav, how about India also, constitutes a similar commission in which we also try and probe as to how Canada has been supporting enemies of the Indian state over their own soil? We can accuse them of terrorism.
Certainly, Vinit. I think Canada, there are evidence, such evidences are with us that Canada has been meddling into the India's internal affairs. And this former protest, when it was going on, the kind of statements were made by Justin Trudeau himself and his administration side clearly had showed the evidence, and that's what we had presented to them also during our talks to them at several times, that they have been interfering in our internal affairs. But instead of correcting those kind of acts, they are alleging India now that India is meddling into the affairs of Canada. And the only country, the most important country, the most infamous country, which is obviously meddling into Canadian affairs, is China. And for that to do, I think a lot of demand was being raised by the opposition party to carry out this kind of investigation. But just to divert the attention, as Major General Sudhakar Ji sir has said, just to divert the attention, they are blaming India now. And this is again exposing the hypocrisy of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his entire administration. And he is again putting India into a kind of a very tense situation, and this will certainly cause harm to the relationship yet again. Instead of taking actions against extremist and terrorist elements, those who are active and doing all sorts of activities against India, Justin Trudeau is obviously, in order to appease them, he is doing everything. He is adopting all tricks and tactics to divert the attention up from the real issues, what India has been raising. So I think this kind of a very negative approach, self-centric approach, and approach of fulfilling its political vested interest at the cost of a huge, vast India-Canada relationship, I think this will certainly be harmful for the Canadian current administration. Justin Trudeau himself will be very severely harmed by this kind of measures, and I'm sure that.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.